The spokesman of Odesa Regional Military Administration, Serhiy Brachuk, reports that this day the army of the Russian Federation struck a missile blow across Odesa region from the planes of strategic aviation. There were hits in a residential area of one of the villages. As a result, several residential buildings and economic facilities with an area of approximately 500 square meters caught fire. There is also destruction of private homes. It is currently known about 8 injured people who received minor shrapnel wounds. Among the victims is one child. According to Serhiy Brachuk, Odesa region was fired upon by an X-22 cruise missile fired from a Tu-22 aircraft from the direction of the temporarily occupied Crimea. The head of Cherkasy Regional Military Administration, Igor Taburets, said that the Russians had launched a missile attack on the region the current day. According to the head of the region, the enemy fired 2 missiles near the regional center. 1 person was killed and 5 others were injured. The infrastructure facility was damaged. According to Oleg Senegubov, the head of Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, the Russian military fired on the Kyivsky and Shevchenkivsky districts of Kharkiv, Chuguyev and Kharkiv districts of the region during the day. 2 women were killed, 5 civilians were wounded. 21-year-old and 57-year-old women died as a result of Russian shelling in Chuguyev district. 2 more people were injured. The shells hit the commercial facilities. The street gas pipeline was damaged. During the day, because of the Russian shelling, 3 more civilians received injuries in Kharkiv district. The current day, the Russian assault aircraft carried out airstrikes on Lysychansk and Ovchayarivka, where fighting is currently taking place. The head of Luhansk Regional Military Administration, Serhiy Haidai, reported about it. He also added that the Russian continued to destroy housing, industrial and administrative facilities in the region. During the day, in Lysychansk, at least 5 high-rise buildings have been destroyed, in one of which 10 apartments burned down at once. 6 private houses have been destroyed on one of the city streets. The territory of the bus station, one of the enterprises, the premises of the border detachment, and the buildings of 2 temples also came under fire. Lysychansk is currently defending, Haidai said. The head of Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Pavlo Kyrylenko, said that the Russian military continued to destroy the social infrastructure of Donetsk region. This day, a school in Donetsk came under fire. As a result of the shelling, the windows have been blown out and the roof has been damaged. There is no information about the victims. In total, according to Pavlo Kyrylenko, more than 220 schools have been damaged by shelling since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. The head of the region also added that this day, Avdiivka coke plant and the city itself had once again been under enemy fire. The Russians used cluster munitions in Hrodivka community. At least 1 person has been wounded, Kyrylenko wrote on Telegram. Advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, Petro Andryushchenko, reported on Telegram that the current day, during the inspection of the buildings hit by the bomb, in the Levoberezhny district of the city, more than 100 bodies of people killed by the bombings had been found. They are still under the rubble. Petro Andryushchenko said that the occupiers did not plan to take the bodies out and bury them. Treatment from the smell of the streets and the yards where the bodies lay is not carried out by the Russian military. A veteran of the antiterrorist operation from Prikaryattia, Oleg Klimishin, has been growing beans in his native village of Sivka-Kaliska for the 3rd year. The man says he chose beans for planting because this plant is unpretentious and has become his favorite pastime after treatment and rehabilitation due to war injuries. Oleg is going to give part of this year's harvest for canned food for the military.
I have no special education in this regard, but I took a risk and I like it, and I'm sure I will do it for a long time. Now everything is overgrown with thistles. I do not want this. I want such constructions to be 100 meters there and all the way to the river.
Oleg Klimishin is a veteran of the anti-terrorist operation. In the summer of 2014, the man went to war, and in October, near Volnovakha, during a mortar attack, he received a shrapnel wound to the head. Damage to part of the brain paralyzed his left arm and leg. So he says after treatment and rehabilitation, he was looking for something to do and that would bring the benefits to him and others.
On October the 24th, God willing, I have a 2nd birthday, because I have one in spring, and the 2nd on October the 24th, I had a surgery at Mechnikov Hospital, and that's how I survived. Here I have a plate, 7 by 14 centimeters. I say about myself that I am a cyborg. 1/3 of the head is iron. I want to show to everyone else I am a man who returned from war after being wounded. My leg is lame, my arm is not working, but I am not sitting or lying, waiting for someone to bring me something. I planned this. And you don't necessarily have to focus on growing beans. You can do any business. Our big advantage is that we have very fertile soils.
The man says that this year, after picking beans, he plans to give part of the harvest to a local businessman for the preparation of canned meat and hand them over to the Ukrainian army. After all, he says he often remembers how nice it was to receive help from home front and how Ukrainian defenders needed it.
There was a guy, Mykola Musienko, with me, and when volunteers came, it was 200 meters from our checkpoint to the road. Well, as a senior respectable man, I used to say, Mykola, run, because the car has already arrived. And Mykola ran once and came back with the package. And there were 4 or 5 of us sitting there. He opened the bag and gave everyone such a bun. You know, they say there are some French truffles there. Well, I think that bun was definitely tastier.